and started having, you know, clearer thoughts and more energy, and not having any of the, no photophobia, no sound sensitivity, no neurological symptoms, and the brain fog was completely gone. Like, no depression, no anxiety, everything just completely turned around. And I'm like, okay, this has got to be a fluke. It's gonna come back, because I had windows here and there, usually hours, sometimes half a day. Sometimes on medications I would get a full day, if I was lucky, of feeling semi-normal. But started after a couple weeks, I'm like, okay, this is for real. Maybe I can go back to my life. Maybe I can go back to work. Maybe I can, you know, function again. And then I'm like, okay, wait a minute, give it a month, because, you know, it's always, your carpet's always pulled out from under you in those last years. So give it a month. And if a month goes by and you're still feeling good, then you know this is the answer. Well, it's been almost 7 weeks now, and had nothing but continued improvement since I started it. And actually I finished that treatment and stopped, and now I'm doing some other things, but I'm back to completely functioning, even, I dare say, better than I was prior to my surgery back over a year ago. Things that I never thought I'd be able to eat again. Like, I was completely organic and gluten-free and drank only water. And if I even tried to take a sip of a beer, I would have excruciating pain and neurological symptoms and anaphylaxis and crazy things. And I hate to admit that I've tested all the waters, but I've tested them all, and I have not had any problems whatsoever that way. So, and I'm out in the sun, and I shop at Target, and on the weekend I have drinks with my friends, and it's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me, because a year ago I was writing, not even a year ago, 3 months ago, I was writing out my will to tell people what I wanted, you know.
Yeah. Wow. You said you hate to say it, but you tested the waters or something like that?
I hate to say it, but I tested the waters on all the things that used to cause me problems, meaning like alcohol, gluten, being out in the sun, shopping at Target, driving long distance.
Was it all alcohol that would give you problems? Because I know beer is problematic.
Oh, but, no, everything would give me problems. And every day it was something new. I couldn't have anything gluten, and I couldn't have anything that was not organic or GMO. Like, every day it was something new. And I remember, like, eating a kiwi one day and instant anaphylaxis. I'm like, great, now I can't even have, Whole Foods. So my window of what didn't cause me problems was getting very narrow. And, like, I don't know. I really honestly try to block it out, because it was so painful. So to remember everything that did cause me problems is it would take me a minute to think of all of them, but
don't even go back to that. I had no idea. Like, and I just realized now as we were talking that this is very recent. So it's like, wow, no wonder. It's like, I had no idea it was such a, that whole, the Disneyland thing, it's like, wow, like, holy crap.
Yeah, it's very recent, very real, very raw.
That's like a script for a movie, that's doesn't even, I don't know. Wow. Well, that's anyway. You're good now. That's
I
the best
am.
part.
I'm amazing now. It's a whole turnaround, and it's amazing. I'm honestly like didn't think yeah. Didn't think I would have gotten through last summer, let alone this one coming up that I'm planning a lot of trips on, so.
So I know several people that are in a, well, I don't know if it's how similar it is or how severe, but pretty, like, your story reminds me of a lot of people that I know right now on Facebook that are suffering incredibly. Like, people that are stuck in their houses and barely think and barely talk. So I really hope that they can get this message. Because it's so simple, right? Like, you only have to take those.
It is.
Those
It's
supplements.
so simple. And it's, after, honestly, I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in seeing doctors and specialists and treatments and, trying everything I could. And literally just months ago, I was micromanaging my nutrients. I would have to balance my potassium, my magnesium, and my sodium, and just it was like a minute to minute, hour to hour thing for me just to get through the day. And now I don't even take any supplements at all anymore, and I was living off of those just to even function. And it would go from I could talk for a minute to suddenly I couldn't talk or even like move. Like the only thing I could do was try and get to my supplements to get me through another hour. Yeah, and before I did kind of miss a part that I really think is important. Before I started the parasite cleanse, I started these nutrients called Intramax, and it's just a liquid organic bioavailable nutrients that has, I think, 415 different nutrients in it. And I had read about it on, I want to say it was one of the mold toxicity groups that someone brought it up, and it took me a couple months to try it because it was expensive, but I kept seeing it come up in the different groups I'm in, and I'm in a lot of different health groups to try and figure out what's going on. And finally I decided to give it a shot, and it gives your body the nutrients it needs, and I think that made me strong enough to be able to, do the parasite cleanse, because when you do a parasite cleanse, when they die off, they give off toxins, which, your body you're already suffering with that. So you need to be strong enough to be able to deal with that. So I think that's really important. And if you don't do the Intramax, to make sure you find some other a complete nutrient supplement that will work for you to make sure your body has the nutrients and stuff it needs in order to deal with that.
Okay. There's a flip side to that. I know there's some groups that say be careful with certain nutrients because the parasites love them. Like, I think B12,
Yes.
like parasites like B12.
Oh yeah.
But,
I think that's a big key, because they fight for your nutrients. The parasites do. They take them from you, and that's why I was on this tightrope of giving myself magnesium and sodium and potassium and all these things that I needed, but my body was fighting for them. And but yeah, there definitely is a tightrope, but your body needs a certain amount, so if you can get some of it, even if they take some while you're doing your cleanse, that's what I did. I don't know how critical everybody is. If they're as sick as I was, I literally was just living minute to minute. So, anyway, but definitely the parasite cleanse, and my family, because parasites are very contagious, obviously. So anybody around you most likely infected. My family, I put them on it. They weren't nearly as sick as I was, but my youngest was pretty severe, and she's had a complete turnaround as well. She's 5 now, 6, but last year she missed a good part of her year, and she was in dance and cheer and tumbling last year, and had to stop doing all of that. But we're back to all of that now after she's done a parasite cleanse as well. She was having the light sensitivities at school. She would get super stomach aches and headaches, and started getting like ADD symptoms, things that she never used to deal with, but with the fluorescent lighting and everything, it was causing her problems. But since I have done a cleanse on her now, she's completely back to her old self, which is amazing.
Yeah. So for people listening, let's summarize the exact things you took, and then like how much, and do you remember like how much and the frequency and everything?
Yes. So I do want to say that for me, the nutrition was important. So I started with Intermax probably about 2 months before I came across the parasite cleanse. So I did an ounce of Intermax every day for 2 months. And then when I did the parasite cleanse, I took Scram, and you can get it on Amazon or your local health food store. And I want to say it's a 17-day detox, and they have you work up where you take like 3 the first day, and you work up over a few days to where you're taking 10 of the pills until you're through the whole bottle. But by, like I say, 2 or 3 days in, I was much improved, and by 2 weeks in, I had a complete turnaround. Before the bottle was empty, I was back to where I was over a year ago. Parasites do lay eggs in their life cycle. You want to make sure that you do it again, because I think it's 4 to 6 weeks hatching cycle, so you want to do it again. And so I did do it again. And honestly, like the more I've researched into it, it's like our ancestors did parasite cleanses twice a year. That's why they went to the doctor every 6 months, was to get their dewormer. And so I plan on doing it for life. But at this point, I'm going to keep, for the next, I don't know how long, I'm going to continue doing cleanses to make sure I get everything out of me possible, because I've just continued to improve even more and more. Like my energy levels and my clarity and things are so much more improved than I can remember over the last 5 years even. So that's
Okay.
pretty much what I've done, is just nutrients and parasite cleanse.
Just for the sake of reference, you took something different when you were experiencing the MS symptoms the first time around.
Yes.
2011.
Yes, it's called HumaWorm, and I think just humaworm.com. They have a great website, and I think that's an excellent product. I took that a couple times, and I would highly recommend that. This other that I took this time was just in my local store, and I wanted to start it immediately. So the HumaWorm, they ground fresh right as you order it, which is better for, the fresh herbs are much more potent. So it does take, I want to say, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks to get that if you order that. But it works excellent. So I highly recommend that. So, but I took Scram this time just because I wanted to start it immediately, and it worked well too. So I would recommend either or both. Start with Scram if you can get your hands on it today, and your follow-up in 4 to 6 weeks. You can do the Huma Cleanse if you want, or whatever you research that sounds like it will work for you.
Okay. So, and for anybody listening, make sure to check the description, or it's probably going to be on YouTube, or on the original post, and I'll put the links and everything. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Is there